morning, Year 9. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. Please could you write the date and the title, Honour Amongst Men. For this lesson, you'll need a copy of the extract from Act 5, Scene 1, access to YouTube to watch some clips, including the scene summary, and different coloured pens and highlighters. Pause the video to make sure you have everything you need. So for your do now, I'd like you to spend 5 minutes defining the word honour. Ideally, I would like you to provide an example as well as the definition. So pause the video for a couple of minutes to do that now. Okay, so you may have written high respect, great esteem. His portrait hangs in the place of honour. A person or thing that brings esteem. You are an honour to our profession, so esteem means high value. Or something regarded as a rare opportunity and bringing pride and pleasure, a privilege. Mrs. Young had the honour of being received by the Queen. So please can you, if you didn't get these down, please can you note them down now. Okay, is Claudio honourable? Spend 5 minutes answering these questions. Do people respect Claudio and think highly of him? Does Claudio respect others? Is Claudio someone who has been praised for his achievements? And does Claudio do the right thing? Pause the video for 5 minutes to answer these questions. So these are the answers. Yes, he is the only man of Italy, according to Hero. And for 2, he seeks advice from others, but then doesn't trust them. Don Pedro and Hero are both suspected to have lied by him. 3, in Act 1, Scene 1, we hear, Don Pedro has bestowed much honour on a young Florentine called Claudio. He has performed well at war. And finally, the last question, he is jealous and impetuous and doesn't stop to think. So if you're impetuous, you act without thinking, you're quite rash. He does what he believes to be right, according to the information he has, but his choice to do it publicly is questionable. So if you didn't get these down, please note down the answers now. Okay, so today's focus is who is an honourable man. I'd like you to watch the scene summary of Act 5, Scene 1, and then the clip from the scene. Write your first impressions about this scene. Who demonstrates honourable behaviour? Pause the video for 10 minutes to do this now. So I'd like you to read this information and make notes on it. The context of honour. Honour was a very important part of Elizabethan society, but its meaning varied depending on whether you were a man or a woman. For women, honour, once lost, could not be regained. It was associated with modesty, virginity, and how they were perceived in society was very important. For men, honour meant your reputation as well, but this was associated with achievements, such as those Claudio had won in battle. It was seen as dishonourable to be cowardly, so a challenge like the one Benedict gives to Claudio must be answered. The phrase, on my honour, comes from a medieval meaning of the word, where honour meant your land or your estate. Therefore, to swear on your honour is not only invoking your name and reputation, but perhaps also your land and your money. So please do make sure you've paused the video to make notes on this key information. Okay, so how do we see honour demonstrated in this scene? I would like you to jot down which characters show each kind of honour. As a father defending his daughter, as a brother supporting his brother, as a gentleman asserting one's own role and behaviour in society, and as a lover defending his loved one. So pause the video to jot down the names of characters who demonstrate each kind of honour. Okay, so you've got Leonardo defends his daughter, Antonio defends his brother, Claudio, Don Pedro, Borachio and Dogberry assert their honour as a gentleman, and then as a lover, we've got Benedict and later Claudio. So make sure you've got the right answers noted down. So let's talk about respecting your elders. Do Claudio and Don Pedro respect Leonardo and Antonio? Spend 5 minutes taking notes. So I'd like you to read through the information, the section on the slide, and then answer the question. Pause the video for about 5 minutes to do this now. So an ideology that is prevalent, meaning widely held, in Shakespeare's plays, such as Romeo and Juliet, Richard II and Hamlet, therefore in the minds of the English is, age is unnecessary, the elderly have no worth, King Lear. Shakespeare's plays reveal the English fear of aging, death, and ugliness through the dismal treatment of the elderly. Much Ado About Nothing echoes this, showing that the older men feel they are not taken seriously in a physical way anymore. Honour becomes associated with those young enough to demonstrate their strength. Make sure you make a note of this, please. So, select 2 quotations to explore, explaining how each character demonstrates honour. So I've given you an example here. Antonio warns Don Pedro and Claudio that he will whip them, asserting himself as a gentleman. He is determined to support his brother, and this show of possible violence demonstrates he is putting his own honour on the line to do this. As an older man, he is keen to show he still feels capable of this, even though his threat is not taken seriously by the younger men. So pause the video to find 2 quotations and explore them, demonstrating how those characters demonstrate their honour. Pause the video to do that now. Finally, reflection. Here stand a pair of honourable men. Sarcasm from Leonardo towards the end of the scene. Which character is the most honourable man? Who do you think it is? I'd like you to write a paragraph answering this question using evidence from the text. You could just focus on the scene or answer the question considering the entire play. Pause the video for 15 minutes in order to do this now. Okay, so well done for your work today. Next time we'll be looking at Act 5, Scene 3 and considering whether Claudio fits the description of a hero. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you next time.